50K. 50K. Jesus Christ. I mean, how many more videos, like, should I make about this? About whenever I reach a subscriber goal. How many more of these, do I have to make? I mean, what else is there to say at this point? Can't even get out my words right. Is yes. I don't know. I think the obvious thing to say is thank you. I mean, who would have ever thought that someone would want to watch me play with these things? Am I right? But I've probably said this a million times by now, but thank you for just everything. For the beginning, hardships, middle, end. If there will be an end, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if there's going to be a point to where I'm going to have to retire doing this or what, but I thank you all regardless. You probably heard me say this like a million times at this point. I mean, even when I reached 25 subscribers years ago, I made a video on it. It had Classic Mario Bros. Yeah. I mean, when I say thank you, I mean as in, like, just for everything. Not just this channel, to be completely honest. Like, for giving me something to have a passion for. For giving me something to strive myself and keep going, pretty much. For everything, really. Not just involving my channel, just my life, pretty much. I mean, okay, most of you already know this. For the new people, you probably don't know this about me, but for the OG fans, you probably already know this. Back in a couple years ago, back in the year 2012, yes, we're talking about this. It was like a very rough time for me and my family. Mostly me, because I felt like I was getting short end of the stick, pretty much. And what happened is that was the that was the year that I moved out for the first time out of the house I grew up in and was raised in, and I moved into a new environment. Like, I haven't done that already, but that was the first time it happened, and it was just hell on earth. Like, words cannot describe how fucking miserable I was. It was fucking ridiculous. I didn't want to do anything. I lost that same spark I had when I started. I completely lost it. I didn't know where to go. I didn't know what to do. My life was... I was just every day just pushed around by people all the time. You know, bullied is the word for it. Which, to be fair though, isn't anything new to me, honestly. Because most of my life I've been bullied. Not anymore, because, you know, a lot older now. I guess people just don't want to mess with me. I don't know. But, you know, most of my life I've been bullied and just kind of stepped on. Now that this channel has given me something to prove them wrong, to say, hey, I'm better than what they're saying. I am not what they're saying. I am not this. I am not that. And it's given me something to really strive for and just to prove them wrong. And now the fact that we're at the place that we're at right now, just not only does it feel surreal, but it tastes like victory, pretty much. It just tastes like victory. Because after all that, after people constantly and constantly and constantly trying to bring me down, I didn't listen to them. For a while, I might have, maybe believe what they were saying around the time, but now, no. The me that I was years ago is not who I am now. It's not. Who I was years ago, I was a very, very depressed, just quiet kid, pretty much. I'm not saying I'm not quiet anymore, because I am. That's just something I always will be, probably, but back then, I just didn't want to talk to anyone. I just couldn't do it. For the OG fans, for people that have been here for a long time, you may know that I do have social anxiety issues. I have problems communicating with people. It's not that, like, I don't like them. It's just... Here's the thing. Whenever I'm in public, right? And I try to talk to someone, if I think about more and more how I'm going to approach this, the more nervous I get. If I just do it instantaneously without thinking, it doesn't bother me. It's like, oh, okay, that just happened. My mind has to, like, fucking say, oh, that just happened, let's move on. And sometimes I can't, like, wait, did I just do that or what? But sometimes if I think about it more and more, the more nervous I get, and just fucking... And it's worse to the point where you just don't want to do it. And that is how it ends up most of the time. Back then, it was a lot worse considering the fact that I rarely talked at all. Nowadays, I'm not like that. Well, as much, But, when someone does talk to me now, at least, like, respond most of the time. But anyways, back then, I had real, social anxiety and whatnot. I still do, but it just doesn't nearly affect me as much as it did back then. Then again, like, the thing with this is that you can't really tell if your anxiety is getting better or if you're just getting used to it. That's the thing. With people with anxiety, it's hard to tell if it's even getting better at all after all these years, or you're just getting used to it and working around it, sort of. And so, I don't know, back then, 2012, it was... I know I keep, like... My family is probably tired of me saying this, talking about that year and whatever. I'm sorry, it's just... It was traumatizing. I mean, it was just a giant wake-up call. That moment, I think, that year is the year where I think that I was starting to grow up officially. Because I feel like that year was the year that I started waking up. The year I started seeing how the world actually was. What people were actually like and capable of doing. Because beforehand, I mean, I was bullied, but I've never seen anything like the people did in there. It was ridiculous, to say the least. It was a giant wake-up call. Without that experience, I probably wouldn't even be the same person. You know, but despite the fact that it did damage me a lot, there are times where I do think about it now and again, and it's just this, it feels like this constant entity that's always looming over me or haunting me. Whenever, I'm having a good day or whatever, it's just there being an asshole. But despite that, if that didn't happen, I don't think I will be the same person, because we all go through something really rough once in a while, and that year was definitely mine, because I felt really lost. I didn't know what to do. I was horribly depressed. I was suicidal, and my channel was hitting the shitter. I only had like 63 subscribers around that time, which really makes you appreciate how much has changed since then. I mean, I'm 18 years old. I have a car. I can't really use it at the moment, but I do have a car at least. I'm getting my license next year. I'm a senior. I'm almost out of high school, and then I want to go to college. I want to fulfill my dream as a film editor, and despite the fact that I don't go to an actual job, I can still make money. Despite that, I don't need to go and work at retail to make money. Which, all this is not about money. Money was never a goal of mine for all of this. Money was merely an afterthought. I didn't even know you could make money from this shit initially. It was something I found out way later on. I'm like, whoa, you can do that? I'm like, well, I don't know if I should do it. And then I really thought about it. I sat on that idea for years. Because for a while, I said to myself, I'm not going to do it because it'll feel more like a job. But I did think about the possibilities. The possibilities of using that money for other things, like this tripod I'm using right now, and this camera I'm using right now. Those were, that was bought with the money I made from YouTube and whatnot. A bunch of other stuff as well. And the green screen was more of a gift than anything, but you get my point. But I started, also, capture card software, stuff like that, record gameplay, stuff like that. A new mic, actually two. My first one broke on me. And a pop filter for it. Oh yeah, and not to mention the $1,300 laptop I have that I make videos on. And that $800 laptop over there on my other desk. Anyways. Well, that one wasn't, I didn't buy that one. The $1,300 one, I bought that one, but not the other one. Sorry. But I started thinking about that more and more and how that could help me by getting new equipment. Because you gotta start from somewhere. You can't just make some videos and expect results. It's going to be a long process thing. And if it takes years, it's going to take years. It took me 6 years to get to this point. 6 long, agonizing years. There are some ups, there are a lot of downs, all arounds, whatnot. But throughout that entire 6-year journey, I have changed so much, it's ridiculous. I have seen so much, it's ridiculous. I have been to so many places. Well, I shouldn't say that, really, but I'm talking about in terms of moving, but I've met so many people, different types of people, and it's just crazy, Like, whenever I look at one of my old videos, I'm not really thinking about that video. I'm more or less thinking about what I was like around that time when I made it. You know? Classic Mario Bros. The Madness Begins. That was Christmas. I got all that plushies. I got a bunch of plushies. And that shitty fucking camera. Hang on. I got a box for it. It's a really shitty camera. Hang on. See? This is it. I still have it. Look, I don't have the actual camera, but I did keep the box. This is what I got. I filmed with this piece of shit. It was awful. It was absolutely awful. But I still did it. Just, you know, despite the fact that the camera sucked ass, I still did it. I still tried my best. And I even started trying to, like, make edits in plush videos, which was absurd around the time, because back then my mentality was you either make a plush video with raw footage, or you make a completely edited video and nothing else. But back then I thought, maybe if I combined the two, what would happen? And that's how I started making edits in my older plush videos and whatnot, adding music. Music that was really loud, but it was music. Titles, you know, even tried effects or whatever. Color changes, you know, something. Let's see. Pikmin Adventures. Pikmin Adventures, you know, it was actually after Classic Mario Bros. It wasn't at the same time. A lot of people think it's at the same time, but it was after. Because the initial idea of Pikmin Adventures was it was a spin-off of Classic Mario Bros. But no one really knows that, though. Because nowadays it's its own separate identity. Like all these series have their own separate identity and world built around those identities. So, despite them all taking place in the same universe, and that universe is inside the fourth wall, which is a TV in the middle of space and time. So, there you go. Anyways, Pikmin Adventures, though, I don't really remember too much around how it was like, but it was pretty much the same applies Classic Mario Bros. It was around that same era. Sonic's Misfit Adventures, on the other hand, that was very interesting. That was during the era to where I was trying my damn near hardest to bring back my name. I wanted to fulfill my name again, because around that time I felt like I was failing people. I felt like, because of everything that happened, I felt like, by the way, sorry for the background noises. Oh yeah, that situation I talked about in that Words of Plush Videos video, it still applies. It's still going to be a thing for like another month. I apologize. I know in the fucking Sonic figure unboxing video I said it was a couple more weeks. No, that was the Fire and Ice unboxing. God. That unboxing, I said it was only going to be a couple more weeks. It might be another month. Please, for the love of God, just stay in there. Just hang with me, guys. Because I don't really talk about this, but I've just been very stressed as of late because everything's been going on. So I can't talk about it. I can't. So just stay with me, and I'll stay with you. Anyways, with that out of the way. Okay, what was I talking about? This. Okay. Sonic Misfit Adventures. That was during a whole era after. That was after the Should I Quit video. That very infamous Should I Quit video. To where I was just so, you know, depressed. And I just think I couldn't do it anymore. I feel like it was time to hang in the towel. That I would just quit. And I remember that one night to where, you know, I was really scared to up that video. I remember being very scared to upload it. And when I did, I saw those comments. I just, that fucking blew my mind. I could not believe that people still cared. And I'm gonna be honest here. You know, call me a pussy or not. You can if you want, but I started crying tears of joy because I couldn't believe that people fucking still cared about me. After all that shit, you know, and everything I was going through, there were still people out there that cared, like, legitimately. And that really fucking, That I will never forget that ever. Because I mean, potentially those people could have saved my life. Because again, around that time I was very suicidal. So it got to the point to where I was thinking about writing a suicide note of my final words. It got ridiculous, guys. It was not a good time to be alive. So that's why I try to not think about it too much. But sometimes it's kind of hard not to. But with this though, that was around the era to where I was trying my damn near hardest to bring back my name. To bring back Ultimate DS Man at heart. You know, just really make a comeback, you know? It started with Pikmin Adventures Episode 4. I remember that specifically because, in my personal opinion, I think that one video saved my channel. Because I really upped the ante. I really, like, you know, said, hey, let's take... I was like, I need to take Pikmin Adventures and just make it as best as I can. And quality was an improvement. Everything was an improvement. People really liked the episode. Some people still go back to that episode. Episode 4 of Season 1. And that video really was like just, you know, the point to where it started again. Like, Ultimate DS Man was back. And shortly after that, Sonic Misfit Adventures was announced. And that also took off. Even though the first episode was more of a filler. But, you know, that's... This plushie right here, this represents the era to where my channel was resurrected, or came back, or made a comeback. So, and now we move on to Pack Shorts. Pack Shorts, I don't know why, every time I think of Pack Shorts, I think of that era to where I first moved into Irmo, I met a lot of cool people, it was really dope, and it was a good time to be alive. I felt so loved because most of my life I was outcasted and ignored, but these people, like, it wasn't like everyone or anything, but still, people, like, went out of their way to, like, be nice and, like, you know, just try to be cool with me, and that really stuck with me because that was like the first time that someone's ever done that to me, honestly. And that was like back in what, 2014, 15? That wasn't even that long ago. But it was the first time I felt that way because I've been stepped on so fucking much. So every time I think of Pack Shorts, that's why I think of that beautiful time to where I felt loved, pretty much. And Bomberman's Bombastic Quest, every time I even hear the name, I think of that era of never giving up hope. That was around the era to where I wanted to move back to Colombia, and I did. Thanks to my dad. I made a lot of update videos around that time. I probably shouldn't have, but I did anyways. I didn't really have anyone else to talk to about this, so I didn't want to bring my friends down in that position I was in, because I was really, like, just, I felt miserable, because every single sodding day I thought about if I'm going to be able to do this or not. That's all I thought about every single day, and it fucking broke me, because I didn't think it would work, you know? But it did work. Not because of the Patreon shit, no. It's because of my dad helping me out. He didn't have to do that. He really didn't. But, you know, I'm glad he did, though. Because you know, I know this is going to sound really cheesy, but I'm never gonna forget that school. That's probably the best school I've ever been to. Not saying the one I go to now is bad or anything. It's definitely one of the better ones, trust me. Probably second best. Yeah, that sounds pretty reasonable. But I don't think I'll ever forget that school because it just it just felt like I clicked. I felt like I had people I could actually talk to. And I never had that before. I never had that opportunity, and social anxiety didn't help either. I just this entire journey of 6 years, the past 6 years, have just been one gigantic ride. I started this when I was 12 years old. It fucking shows if you go watch my older videos. But I just can't believe that it's grown to the like I I just can't believe we're here. We've reached this place that seemed impossible before. We've we finally did it. 6 years. 6 years it took. You know, to be honest, it just feels surreal. It just feels like this isn't happening. This is not real. None of it is. I feel like it's not because it just feels like a dream. But it is real. It's life. I'm currently living in it. It just can't. Just to think that not too many years ago I wanted to quit. I felt like I had nothing left. I didn't want to quit because I felt like that this was my last chance. Because I didn't have anything else left. I couldn't talk to anyone. I didn't have any friends. My family didn't really want to talk to me besides my dad. Because, well, they had their own problems and, you know, they were different. And just to think that not too many years ago, I would have thrown it all away. I would have thrown all this away. All the people I've met, all the shit I've gone through, all the hours, hours, hours I put into this, the amount of work, blood, sweat, tears, passion, everything, it would have been gone. Would have been gone. Just by one simple click, at one moment, when I was at one state of mind around that time, it would have been all gone. You wouldn't be watching this video. You wouldn't know who I am. If that were to happen, but thank God for those people that commented on that video, because if they didn't, my channel wouldn't be here. In fact, I can even say that I probably wouldn't even be here. Because it was that bad. And yet people, family just seems to think that it really wasn't that bad. But at the same time, what would they know? Because they weren't listening. So how would they know? They wouldn't. That thought kind of scares me, to be honest, because it just makes you realize how easy you can throw everything away if you really wanted to, but so just damn glad I didn't. Because if I would have thrown it all away, I wouldn't met the people I met. I wouldn't have the same passion. I wouldn't have anything else to strive for anymore, because this is my channel is like my persona. I feel like I just have very special personal attachment to my channel, because I have put so much heart, so much passion into it, that if it were to go away, I think it would completely destroy me. I think it would. Just the thought of it going away terrifies me. I've actually had nights to where I've had nightmares about, either my channel being deleted, something were to happen, or I did get really popular, but it had a cost of new people coming in and criticizing, which criticism is not a bad thing. It was more or less of just constant, just negativity. And it kind of like ate me up. Literally, because I remember in a dream that it pretty much swallowed me whole. Because it got ridiculous. Like, I got super popular, but like, it had a risk. It had its own cost. It wasn't everything it cracked up to be, So, I'm just saying that in the future, if I don't, reach 100K or whatever, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind at all. Because just to think of the fact that throughout these 6 years I have managed to get to this point speaks for itself. It solidifies the fact that I didn't give up. And I would be happy if it weren't to grow anymore. If it just stayed right there, I would still be happy, because knowing the fact that we got there, I would be happy. I would. Even if it didn't grow anymore, not one single subscriber, I wouldn't care. Just knowing the fact that we got there, we made it, would make me happy. And we did get there. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't want this to be emotional, but it turned out that way. Yay. Huzzah. So, when I say thank you in these videos, I really fucking mean it. I'm not just trying to be one of those generic YouTubers that makes these videos and doesn't feel real about it. I am so sick of YouTubers being so fake. I'm sorry, I really don't like calling other people out. I'm not saying any names. I'm just saying YouTubers in general. When they make these type of videos, they don't seem real about it. I've just seen YouTubers that they're not honest with their fans. They're not. I just don't think that's right. My personal opinion, I think if these are the same people that help build your foundation, then they might as well get to know you better. To know who they're actually supporting. That's why I tell you guys everything. I'm not afraid of sharing stuff. If you go on my Twitter, I share fucking everything about me. I don't care. And if you go on my private Twitter, I share literally everything about me. I don't care. I mean, if these are the same people that helped do what you love in life the most, then you might as well get to know them. And they might as well get to know you. That's the way I look at it, and that's why it bothers me so much when YouTubers make, "Hey guys, thanks for all the subscribers, I love you guys, blah blah blah." They just say these generic things that you've probably heard a million times without actually explaining anything. It just feels copy and paste. That's why I wanted to do this, because I felt like it was necessary. That's why I went into the detail I went into, because you guys should know. Most of you already probably know, but for the people that don't, there you go. I just feel like some YouTubers are just not honest. They're not. I just think it's okay to talk about these things. You know, I mean, I know some people are going to say you shouldn't bring other people into this, you shouldn't bring them down. That is true, but if you just keep it inside, it's going to tear you apart. I don't know. I just feel like now that YouTubers make these type of videos, they don't feel legit. They don't feel real about it. They say the generic shit, you know, you've probably heard a million times by now, and then they end the video and call it a day. And then add like fucking say, "Yeah, I hope you comment, like, subscribe," shit. You know, I don't know if you guys understand what I'm saying. I'm just gonna assume that you do. But, I don't know. By saying that though, saying that I don't think other YouTubers are like real about it, I know that not everyone's like that. There are other people that actually are real about it. I'm just saying that, like, I'm not trying to diss anyone. I was just saying that, like, I'm trying my best to be real with you guys, because I don't see a reason to lie to you. If something's going down that's halting production, I will tell you, like there has been for the past couple months. Okay? That's why I made that stream that turned into a video and boom. That's why I did that, because I feel like you guys should know. And I know I didn't explain in detail what happened because I can't. I just can't. I can't. I wish I could, I just can't. We're not going into that. But I felt the need to at least let you guys know, because you have the right to know if it does involve videos in my channel. So that's why I did that. I just feel like other YouTubers should do the same. I just feel like other YouTubers should be honest with their fans. If something's going down, let them know so they'll know, without them like just requesting videos that you can't make at the moment. You have your hands tied. So if that's going down, you need to let them know. Otherwise, they're just either going to keep requesting it, or they're going to just be confused. So that's why I do that. That's why I'm so open about everything to my fans, because I feel like you guys should know. And yeah, I don't know what else to say at this point. I pretty much said everything. Not literally everything, because I can't say literally everything due to privacy reasons. But not my privacy, I'm talking about other people's privacy, about the whole other thing. I can't talk about that though. Anyways. But, thank you. If I haven't said that enough times throughout the years, thank you. But when I say that, just know that I truly do mean it. I wouldn't spend here. How long? This video is 40 minutes. I wouldn't be here making a fucking 40-minute video explaining everything if I didn't mean it. So just know that I do really fucking mean it. Because my channel is my life. It's the only thing I really have going for me. It's what sets me apart from other people. It's like my persona. It's me. It's me. And that's why I care about it so much. I don't know what to say at this point, other than thank you for giving me the opportunity to prove people wrong. Thank you.